Hello, sports fans. We are ready for NFL picks for week number 15 in the league where they play for pay. And let's get right to it, as I had another spectacular week in the NFL last week. 18-2 overall, 5-0 with the teasers, 7-2 against the spread, 4-0 money line, 2-0 over and under. I had an unbelievable week last week. Almost topped the week I had a few weeks ago when I was 27-3. I told you guys to use 5 teams in the teaser. I said use New England, Green Bay, Buffalo, Detroit, and the Giants. They all covered with the teaser. The teasers continue to be like gold for me each and every week. I had a Bronco fan last week get all over me for picking Tennessee last week. I believe the quote was, "You are so stupid for picking Tennessee. Denver is going to blow them out." Well, first of all, I've picked Denver more than anyone the last 2 years. I was one of the few people that had Denver in the Super Bowl and the under last year. But have you been paying attention? Denver doesn't blow out anybody. They're offensively challenged, especially on the road. How did that pick work out for you? I take it I'm not going to hear from you again, just like the guy a few weeks ago that told me Arizona was going to beat Atlanta and Cleveland was going to beat the Giants. How did that work out? Then I had another guy last week that got upset with me because I didn't say Dallas was going to definitely beat the Giants last week. I said I was playing the Giants plus 9.5. He got all over me, all on my case. How could I possibly say that? Dallas is going to win this game easily. They're going to definitely cover the spread. Well, not only did Dallas not cover the 3.5, and not only did Dallas not cover the 9.5, which I had with the Giants, Dallas didn't win the game at all. So how did that work out for you? You know what? How about everyone go check out my record and let's just leave it at that. I see what other shows are doing. People picking 500, under 500, botching up teasers, picking losers left and right. You listen to these guys, you're going to go bankrupt by the middle of the season. So my record speaks for itself. So all you Bronco people that got on me last week and all the Dallas people that got on me last week, and I know it's not all you guys. Most of the messages are great, but there's one or two every week that just are looking to start trouble all the time. Well, all I have to say for you guys is, how did that work out for you last week? Go check out my record. And remember that line from Goodfellas? Now go home and get your shine box. Now let's go to week 15. Let's get right to it. Let's start with the Thursday night game. The Seattle Seahawks are home, minus 14 against the LA Rams. Seattle down to 8-4-1. They've dropped to the 3 seed. They got bombed in Green Bay. Russell Wilson, 5 interceptions. A lot of them weren't his fault, though. Bouncing off the receiver's chest and hands, getting picked off. Seattle, another atrocious road game. Seattle looks really good at home, and then they go on the road and they just look terrible. How in the world did they go to New England and win this year? Seattle, a despicable effort in Green Bay. Rams, well, they've been despicable for a while now. Rams down to 4-9, just got bombed by the Falcons. Jeff Fisher out as coach. I mean, they've thrown Goff to the wolves, by the way. They should have sat Goff on the sidelines the whole year. They throw him into this mess. You wonder if this is going to shake the kid's confidence. I mean, the Rams have no offense whatsoever. And what's with the fans out in L.A.? Listen, I know the team's not any good, but come on. You guys got to sell out all these games. So many no-shows in the stands. LA should be celebrating this year having a team back. Forget about the record. You guys should be happy you have a team back. What's with all the empty seats out there? Terrible job by the LA fans as well. So Fisher out. Listen, as far as this game, Seattle's a 14-point favorite. It's a short week. Seattle's home. You know how I love those home teams on a short week? To me, I don't know if the Rams are going to score. Now, the Rams have had success against Seattle, but it's not going to happen this week. Seattle is definitely going to win this game. Look any way possible to take Seattle here. Money line, 14. Use the game in a teaser. Seattle is definitely going to win the game. There's no way the Rams on a short week, after they just fired their coach with that offense, is going into Seattle and winning. Not happening. I'll take Seattle. That's pick number 1. Pick number 2. Let's go to the Saturday night game. Yes, there's a Saturday night game this week where the Miami Dolphins are minus 2.5 at the New York Jets in the Meadowlands. Not too far from here. Dolphins up to 8-5, hung on and beat Arizona. They kicked the field goal late. Miami had to have that game, by the way. Really needed that game. They lose Tannehill. Injury not as bad as we first thought, but he is going to miss a few games at least. Moore will be the quarterback. Jets up to 4-9. They came back and beat San Francisco. But listen, I can't give the Jets too much credit for that. The Niners are absolutely atrocious. I got to go with Miami here. The game is just too important to them. And by the way, a lot of games this week where good teams are playing bad teams. There's not a lot of matchups between good teams this week. So you got a lot of good teams playing a lot of bad teams. So I'm going to be moving the line a lot this week. A lot of high spreads. This game, though, low spread. I got to like Miami. Even though they're on the road, I think they're going to get that running game cooking. I can't trust the Jets at all. I just can't. I mean, despite their win in San Francisco, I was shocked they were even down 17-3 in that game. I got to go with Miami here. Lean on that running game. I'll take Miami. The game's too important to them. That's pick number 2. Pick number 3, let's go down to Baltimore. With the Baltimore Ravens, a -6 against the Philadelphia Eagles. Baltimore down to 7-6, lost to New England last night. Philadelphia down to 5-8, lost to Washington. They've now lost 4 in a row, so the wheels have come off for the Eagles. This is a very, very important game for the Ravens. They have to stay within one game of the Steelers to make that game, on Christmas Day count. So the Ravens have to have this game in the worst way. Spread is 6. I'm going to tease it down to pick them. I say Baltimore takes care of business at home. I like Baltimore and a teaser there. That's pick number 3. Pick number 4. Let's go to Soldier Field in Chicago, where a classic rivalry is going to take place between the Green Bay Packers, who are -6.5 at the Chicago Bears. Green Bay has come alive. They're 7-6. They laid it on Seattle. They've won 3 in a row. All of a sudden, the defense that was giving up 60 points is playing better. Rodgers can always get that offense cooking. Chicago down to 3-10, lost a tough game to Detroit, came back, took the lead. Detroit found a way to win at the end like they always do. Listen, this rivalry has been all Green Bay lately. I mean, Green Bay always beats Chicago. I know the game's in Chicago. Another game. Move it down to pick 'em. Tease this game. Big game for Green Bay. Have to have it. Green Bay's going to have to win out probably to make the playoffs. They still have a chance at the playoffs. They can't afford any slip-ups. Tease that game down. Green Bay will find a way to win in Chicago. I like the Packers there. It's pick number 4. Pick number 5. Let's go to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. Some of the best fans of all of the NFL, where the Kansas City Chiefs are 10-3 off a huge Thursday night win against Oakland. Chiefs are now in first place. They're the 2 seed. They still have a shot at that 1 seed. Tennessee up to 7-6, beat Denver like I mentioned. They're tied with Houston for first place. Big game for both teams in the grand scheme of things. Kansas City is favored by 5.5. They're red hot. Kansas City very rarely loses now in the regular season. They have this huge winning streak. So Kansas City doing a lot of good things recently. I got to take Kansas City here in a teaser again. I'll take Kansas City and move the line to pick them. Maybe I'll get a point. But I got to think Kansas City at home with their tough defense. Like I said, they very rarely lose games in the regular season now. They got some crazy record during the regular season the last 2 years. So I'm going to take the Chiefs here. It's a tough game, an interesting game, and I think the Chiefs get it done at home. That's pick number 5. Pick number 6, let's go down to Houston, where the Houston Texans are -6 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Houston up to 7-6. They went into Indianapolis and won. Very nice win by Houston. I thought their defense played very, very well despite not having J.J. Watt. Jacksonville, what else is new with them? They lost to Minnesota. They are down to 2-11, yet people continue to pick Jacksonville and Cleveland and all these bad teams week after week. I even had a few people say they liked the Niners last week. I don't get it. I got to like Houston here. They're home. Again, another perfect teaser game. Move this line to pick 'em, playing in combination. You have a ton of choices in 2-team teasers this week. A ton of choices. There is money to be made this week. I'll take Houston there, move the line and pick 'em. That's pick number 6. Pick number 7. Let's go now to Atlanta, where the Atlanta Falcons are -13 against the San Francisco 49ers. Atlanta up to 8-5 as they just destroyed the Rams out in L.A. despite not having Julio Jones. He's questionable this week. San Francisco 1-12, lost to the Jets, blew a 17-3 lead at home. Nice job, San Francisco, as Chip Kelly continues to have that dumbfounded look on his face. He just looks lost. Chip Kelly, should I go for 2? I mean, Chip Kelly just completely lost. They've lost 12 in a row, San Francisco. I mean, my goodness, what a disgrace they are. An embarrassment. I mean, lose at home to the Jets after having a 17-3 lead. I mean, you got to be kidding me. You got to love the Falcons to roll here, no matter how you play it. Money line, straight up, teaser. Falcons are going to roll. No way San Francisco wins down Atlanta. That's pick number 7. Pick number 8, let's go out to beautiful San Diego, where the Oakland Raiders are -2.5 at the San Diego Chargers. Oakland down to 10-3 as they lost to Kansas City. Didn't play all that great, had their chances, missed some opportunities. Now they fall into a wild card, so they could be on the road the whole playoffs if they don't catch up to the Chiefs. San Diego lost to Carolina. Lose Gordon, he's questionable this week. San Diego down to 5-8. They look like they started their Christmas shopping early last week, especially in the first half. I gotta like Oakland here. Why is the spread only 2.5? Oakland is light years better than the Chargers now. The whole crowd will be Raider fans. I mean, every time I see a San Diego home game, no matter who they're playing, the other fans dominate the stadium. They'll be all Raider fans. It'll be all silver and black. Raiders have a lot to play for here. San Diego's done. Like I said, they started their Christmas shopping early. Take the Raiders there. That's pick number 8. Pick number 9, let's go to the jungle in Cincinnati. With the Pittsburgh Steelers, a -3 against the Cincinnati Bengals. Steelers up to 8-5. Had a nice win in Buffalo in the snow. Bell was awesome. Steelers starting to play better football. They've gone into first place. Cincinnati 5-7-1. They have won a couple in a row. Ho hum. They beat Cleveland. I gotta like Pittsburgh here. I think they're hot now. I think they're just better than Cincinnati. Despite Cincinnati's last 2 wins against Philly and Cleveland, I still don't trust them. I'll take Pittsburgh there. That's pick number 9. Pick number 10. Let's go down to D.C. with the Washington Redskins, a -4 against the Carolina Panthers. Washington up to 7-5-1, rallied to beat Philadelphia, a game they had to have. Carolina down to 5-8, did beat San Diego. I like Washington here. They have a lot of weapons on offense. They're home. They're right in the thick of the playoff hunt. Carolina really has nothing to play for. I gotta like the Redskins here. I think they've had the better year of the two. Carolina's been very disappointing. I'll take Washington here. That's pick number 10. Pick number 11, let's go out to Denver with the New England Patriots, a -3 at the Denver Broncos. New England up to 11-2, beat Baltimore last night despite having Gronkowski out and receivers out. New England continues to find people to plug in. Brady last night against a good Baltimore defense with guys out still threw for over 400 yards. It's unbelievable. A little sloppy on special teams, New England, but they did win the game. Denver down to 8-5, lost to Tennessee. Denver's got a brutal schedule the rest of the way. Denver usually plays better at home, especially in that altitude. Fourth quarter teams get tired. Straight up, money line, I gotta like New England. Point spread, I gotta like New England. Maybe move the line to 9 or 10. You can take a shot with Denver that way, but I think New England's the better team right now. So I think New England money line, New England point spread. Maybe you could talk me into Denver 9 or 10 in a teaser. It's an interesting game. Brady and New England usually don't play well in Denver, but I think New England is just better than the Broncos this year. Broncos have such a hard time scoring, so I'll take New England there. I could consider the teaser with Denver, so that's pick number 11. Pick number 12, let's go to the Meadowlands in New Jersey. Not too far from here again with the New York Giants, a -4.5 against the Detroit Lions. Giants up to 9-4, beat Dallas. Second time they've beaten Dallas this year. Defense played great, even without Jason Pierre-Paul. Really shut down that Dallas attack. Great job by the Giants in that game. Detroit up to 9-4. Find another way to come back and win. They were down in this game. They rallied late. Keep an eye on Stafford with that injury. He's got an injury to his finger. He will play, but we got to see how well he'll play. Listen, if Stafford plays, I could see him moving this line to like 10.5 at 11 and taking Detroit because both of these teams play close games. But keep an eye on that injury. Stafford does play and he's ready to go. Maybe move that line to 10.5 or 11. You got to think the game is going to be close either way. So that's pick number 12. And pick number 13, let's go to the Big D in Dallas with the Dallas Cowboys, a -7 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Dallas down to 11-2. They lost to the Giants. They haven't covered the spread the last 3 weeks. Haven't looked all that great the last 2 weeks. It's an important game for Dallas because if they ever lost this game, you can be sure Jerry Jones with that itchy trigger finger is going to start that Romo rumor again that he's going to be the quarterback. So an interesting game. Tampa Bay up to 8-5. They've won 5 in a row. They beat New Orleans. Tampa Bay is playing some really good football. After losing that Thursday night game to Atlanta, Tampa Bay is playing some really good football. I got to think Dallas is going to respond. I'd probably move this line down to 1 and take Dallas in a teaser. I can see some of you Tampa Bay people thinking this game will be close, maybe push the line up to 13 and take a chance with Tampa Bay. I personally will move the line to 1 and take Dallas in a teaser. I think Dallas will rebound at home here and find a way to win. Like I said, if they don't, watch Jerry Jones with that itchy trigger finger. Watch those Romo rumors start to swirl. But I'll take Dallas there in a teaser. I'll move the line to 1. And 3 games I'm not going to pick. I don't want to spend too much time on these games. Arizona at home, -2 against New Orleans. Listen, both teams are out of it. If you ask me who I like, probably Arizona because they play decent at home. Buffalo at home, -10 against Cleveland. Obviously, you got to think Buffalo's going to win. Maybe money line, maybe teaser there. But very disappointed in Buffalo. 6-7. They're always up and down. The quarterback is up and down. They were pushed around in the snow at home by Pittsburgh. Terrible job by Rex Ryan. Terrible job by Rob Ryan. You know the Steelers are going to pound Bell all day. You had no answer for that. You look up and again the Bills are mediocre. Rex Ryan, after doing some decent things the first couple years with the Jets, he faded out there. He's not doing a great job here. Rob Ryan's bounced around the league. Buffalo and the Ryans are not doing a nice job. 6-7 is disappointing. And remember, one of those wins was against New England without Brady. They could easily be 5-8 because they probably would have lost that game if Brady played. Very, very disappointing job by Buffalo this year. But you got to think they're going to find a way to win here. And the other game I have no opinion on. Minnesota at home, -4 against the Colts. Minnesota 7-6 still alive. Colts 6-7, a game behind Houston and Tennessee. I don't know what to make of either one of those teams. They're so strange week to week. I don't know what to make of that game, so I'm going to pass on that game. So those are your picks for NFL week number 15. Like I said, I'm coming off a tremendous week last week. As far as the college football, Army did beat Navy. They end the big Navy winning streak. Good to see Army win. Army fans were excited. They rushed the field. Didn't like the Navy play calling at the end of that game. Couple minutes to go, 3rd and 5. They run the fullback right up the middle. Then they punt the ball on 4th down. They never got the ball back. Didn't like the decision there to punt by Navy. So Army finally gets a win. We do have some bowl games coming up. I promise you I'll get into them soon. There are so many bowl games and so many just awful bowl games. Besides the Final Four playoff, there's maybe just a handful of good bowl games. The rest are just atrocious. The matchups, you couldn't dream of these matchups in your head. They're so awful. I mean, some of these games are just going to be unwatchable. I'll try and get into some of them next week. There you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. Listen, thanks to most of you guys for sending me all the great messages. I get a lot of great support, a lot of great messages from you guys. I know I started the show with a couple negative people, but most of you guys are absolutely tremendous. Week in and week out for years now, you send me great messages, great support. I really appreciate it. You guys enjoy the games this week. Stay happy, healthy, and safe. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. There's money to be made this week. Look at those 2-team teasers. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.